Hello YouTube, Reddit Math here, and welcome back to Jagged Alliance 2. Now we've got a little bit of a problem here, which is that we're being attacked in the Drassen mine again, but this time with Biff and Flo as our only mercenaries present. Now, it's 11 on 11 for the militia versus enemies. I'm going to go ahead and pop in while I'm talking here. So, while Biff and Flo are huddled over here, you know, I actually, I'm going to prepare for the worst, really. I'm going to get her there, and him right behind her in the standing. The idea here being that if anybody comes through the door, they're both able to take shots. Hopefully they get some interrupts, etc., etc. And then, largely, I just think I'm going to let the militia try to thin them out. It is nighttime and we're defending, which is usually not a good sign for the defenders, but I think it's really my best strategy. Unfortunately, it's also a little bit of a dull strategy to watch, which is let the militia try to do the fighting for us. So I'm going to cut out here. I don't even know that I'm necessarily going to show the fight in clips, just probably come back towards the end, you know, if Biff and Flo need to get involved. So I'll catch you guys on the other side of this.
Yes, let's be real careful. They're probably close by, just waiting for the chance to kill us.
Well, hey guys, I decided to go ahead and come back here. We've slipped into real time again, as I say that, and then we immediately go back into turn-based mode. The fight's been going pretty well, so as soon as we get back to my turn, I'll pick up and kind of show where the battle's been so far. Largely constrained to this like southwestern quadrant, just like most of the fights that have happened in here. This place is becoming a regular graveyard, and I kind of wish I would have maybe gotten Buff and Flo to stand at the corner of this building, like Coyote had so much success with in previous fights here. Alright, so far, I think I've seen 5 enemies get killed, maybe 6. There's been quite a bit of automatic weapons fire getting sprayed around, and like rounds impacting people that I can't see based on me just hearing them yell. And then we've only lost, I think, 3 of my own militia. I think a guy died there, and then over here, which isn't too terribly bad. Meanwhile, like, this fight went our way. We ended up killing, like 4 of them right there. The red shirts are Deidranna's forces, so we killed 4 of them right there. And then I think maybe somebody else has died right around here. So maybe they've killed 3 of ours, and we've killed 5 of theirs. Biff and Flo have been staying out of the fight, kind of hunkered down in the bar. But it looks like things are starting to settle down, or like kind of tide turning our way, as we got a couple of units. Basically, is our I'm not sure if they're the veteran level, like the 3rd level of militia yet, or just the 2nd. But these guys in kind of the blue tops that are here, like there's one there, and one there. They've got some like automatic weapons and some long rifles, and so as they joined the fight, it pretty handedly turned in our direction. The suppressing fire from the automatic weapons did a lot to prevent incoming fire coming back their way, and then the random chances to hit both who they were aiming at, and like right now, for example, we're taking fire from somebody just outside of our vision. We've hit those guys a few times without even being able to see them, just due to the amount, oh my god, the amount of shots being fired. Also, that's not the first time that that's happened. That has got to be a like clear example of, I don't even think hollow points would do that. So in addition, like the ammunition types that are in the game, there are hollow points and laser ammo. Now, I don't think that the glazer ammo that exists in this game is terribly accurate to the type that exists in real life. It's pretty much like a frangible round that as it hits, it just pulverizes the bullet and it turns into tons of little tiny pieces of shrapnel inside the person. Now that is devastating, but at the same time, like in a combat scenario, those bullets don't have very good penetration, which is actually the reason they get used. I think like in real life, a glazer round is mostly designed just to not penetrate at all. Like its ability to break up on contact with walls so that you don't end up, you know, in a home defense scenario, accidentally shooting through a wall and injuring an innocent bystander. In this, though, they're interpreted to be these, like, bullets that against soft targets, meaning any unit that doesn't have body armor, they're absolutely devastating. Like, they're hitting for 144 and 90 with a single round, which is pretty painful. I think I saw one of my troops basically do the same thing to one of their guys, like hit for like 120 with a single bullet. So we might have the same advantage on our side. The reason not to use them is fairly quickly in the game. As it progresses, you start to run into enemies that have body armor, and when you shoot them with a glazer round, it will do literally 0 damage most of the time. So there's kind of a trade-off to be had there. If I'm remembering correctly, and unless any changes have been made, we're likely to see kind of across a spectrum here. There's glazer ammo, or sorry, yeah, there's glazer ammo, hollow point ammo, and then armor piercing or AP ammo. There's basically like a steel core, full metal jacket kind of round, and they sort of run the spectrum from high damage but terrible against body armor to lower damage but better against body armor. Oh man. And suddenly, as I've come back, our own luck in this has started to kind of go south. Quite a few of our militia guys are dropping like flies. But the like the AP rounds, for example, are good against body armor, but against soft targets, like they over penetrate. You know, they don't transfer enough of their kinetic energy into the target to do a lot of damage. They just poke tiny holes in people. Now, tiny holes in the right spot can obviously be fatal, but they don't tend to have that same devastating effect of knocking guys off their feet. Like, there's an example, for instance, where a guy took no damage. You know, it's possible that he just took, like, a glazer round while he's wearing a flak jacket or something. Similarly, he's not doing very good damage in the opposite direction. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe he's using hollow point rounds and the other guy has a little bit of body armor, something like that. These 2s and 4s, now, well, that one got through. The downside, of course, is, so that hit him in the leg and did 18 points of damage. So we know he probably isn't wearing any leg armor. That's going to be kind of a late game addition. Is any sort of like Kevlar pants or anything we don't see for quite a while. Oh man, and there goes another one. So fairly quickly here, I'm getting kind of concerned that Flo and Biff may just have to enter this fight. We're down to, I think that's just 4 militia. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's all I see. Yeah. I think it's just 4 militia versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It might be 4 on 4 right now. Because it should have started as 11 on 11. We've got 4 left, and I think they've got 7 dead. So things are pretty even at the moment. I don't like this guy's chances of surviving that, though. I'm sorry, friend. I jinxed you. But yeah, I did not like his odds of coming through that alive.
Yes.
I am hoping... This guy has been super deadly. I'm hoping to see him get taken out fairly soon. Corporal Henry Hertzilla? Hertzilla? That's a terrible name. Oh, there we go. There's some of those more experienced militiamen and their fully automatic weapons again. Hopefully it can be enough to turn the tide, although Hertzilla over there did manage to just lay out one of our more experienced militiamen just a few minutes ago. Somebody please shoot him. Shoot him dead. As I now believe it is 3 versus 4, as we lost a guy and have not managed to return the favor yet. Luckily...
There is a noise.
Oh, that's terrifying. Alright, well, they just heard something. And in no particular direction, it was just faint sound of movement coming from the west. Okay. So, out here somewhere? Now, that could just be like a random civilian, but most of the time civilians tend to hunker down and stay in one spot. So I'm going to go ahead, let's ready our pistols, and we're basically just 2 people standing there aimed in at the doorway. So, I mean, anything that comes in, we should be able to shoot them before they shoot us. At least I hope. I don't have a lot of faith in their ability to get the interrupt, first of all. And even being like 2 squares away, there's a part of me that's kind of terrified that they'll manage to miss. I was just about to say that I'm finding it surprising that we only really see one of the enemy down there, that they haven't brought the full, like, 4 enemies that I think they have left to bear.
Hopefully, someone will locate the remaining enemies.
And then
so
immediately...
they will no longer be a danger to me. Us.
No longer be a danger to me. I then immediately get worried that they're actually not down here. That maybe there's just the one guy. And everybody else could have fairly easily maneuvered through the town, as our militia were not very spread out. Which leaves me actually having no idea where the enemy is. Also, I had a unit like over here. Did she die? She must have died. Oh man, have you never seen a horror movie? Like, why would you go check this place out all by yourself? Yes, there are enemies over there. Thank you for noticing. Please just shoot him.
We're clear!
Oh.
And I'm still alive!
Wow. Okay, that was the last guy, which is interesting. Let me actually pop back out. They might have ran, like, because I don't remember counting 11 deaths, and we can see them, like, their bodies here. They're the non-decomposed ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I'm pretty sure we killed a guy, like, right here that we're not going to be able to see, just, like, right on this corner. That would have been 9. I think we were still missing 2 more that must have just hoofed it out of here. I'm not going to argue, though. We end up with just a couple of militia left. Did 3 survive? So 3 militia in here. I think that basically means, you know, we can continue to hang out in this sector, but if we get attacked again, I think Flo and Biff are going to have to hoof it back out of here. Man, the way forward is not super clear at the moment. Part of me wants to kind of hang out. I need to continue waiting for the medical supplies before really doing much of anything. Because right now, even a single bullet could be so deadly, and I just can't afford to take that risk with most of my units. The goal would be, once we get those supplies, you know, we can take Drassen. I'm probably going to leave Drassen to the B team for now, and then have our other squad like swinging back through San Mona onto Chitzina. That would be the plan at least, but right now we're having a hard time getting ahead of the curve and instead just constantly being attacked. I really need to see the militia get trained up enough that if there's enough of them, the AI will kind of be like, oh, there's 20 of you and we're a 4-man squad. Maybe we should just ignore that. But right now with just, a couple of guys here and there, it's not really working. And actually, I think we can get super cheesy with this and reassign units. Oh yeah, we can. So for the sake of suspension of disbelief, let's just assume that they're able to sort of make their way through the town inconspicuously. Having seen insurgent forces before, they're pretty hard to tell from the populace until they start shooting at you. So, maybe they're smuggling guns and troops just across this sort of border zone in between that still has some of Deidranna's forces. I wonder if her forces still being there is causing them to counterattack more often. You may be wondering why I'm not just taking C13, or you may have experienced the game before and know why I'm not taking C13, but I'm trying not to fully aggravate Deidranna to the point that she launches a counterattack against the city, as I'm not prepared at all to deal with that right now. I think my current working plan is going to be actually to retreat when that happens, but I need the daily income from the mine right now to sort of get situated so that I can do without having those funds coming in for a few days while we kind of do a little run and gun game with them and have to retake it. I think I've got a lot of sort of soul searching to do between episodes and deciding what the strategy for all of this is going to be. I may end up cutting out a few days worth of just grinding and practicing and hopefully getting our militia trained up to a level where they're able to repel some attacks for a while so that we don't have to worry about leaving the town with some of our better mercenaries. I'm going to go ahead and cut this out here because that's going to be some fairly boring stuff to go over. Actually, there is maybe one thing. Any good loots? Nope, just ammunition. They did drop a flak jacket, which I suppose I can throw on Biff. So that's something. He now has 7% armor. Yay for making progress, I suppose. They did drop a little bit of 12 gauge ammo. That might be nice for Bull and his shotgun. But other than that, that's going to do it for this episode. I know it may be a little bit boring, mostly just me talking over some militia battles here. But like I said, I think I need to really sit down and strategize what's going on and maybe skip out on some of the more mundane tasks of raising an army and come back to you guys when there's a little bit of action ready to take place. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to subscribe for more videos daily. Leave a like or a comment if you have anything to say about this or any of my other episodes. And I will catch you guys next time.